Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be testing the RTX 5090 Astral. I'm going to be testing the RTX 5070 Ti Gigabyte WINDFORCE edition of the card as well, and also the RX 9070 XT PowerColor Hellhound edition of the card. And I'm going to be using the 9000X3D, and I'm going to be using 32 gigabytes of DDR5. It is going to be a 4K test. I will have a 1440p video out soon as well with these three cards. Also, there will be more videos coming out with the 9070 XT, the 9070, the 5070 Ti, and the 9060 XT 16 gigabytes. So subscribe for that, guys, and let's get started with the video. Alright guys, so we're in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, run at 4K, very high settings with TAA, and we're seeing that the 5090's basically got double the FPS of both of these GPUs. The 5070 Ti is slightly faster in this title. It's got about 5 to 6 FPS more than the 9070 XT. The power draw on the 9070 XT is around 40 watts higher than the 5070 Ti. And of course, the 5090 has literally double the power of basically both of these cards. It's just sucking back around 540 watts. But yeah, all cards are doing a pretty decent job in this game, especially if you enable, FSR quality and DLSS. You're going to have a really high refresh rate experience, even in 4K, so really good to see. And yeah, just a fantastic performance from all these GPUs. Also, I really love testing this game because the 1% lows on this game are always really good. As you guys can see, we're literally getting really good 1% lows. They're not dropping far behind from the normal FPS that you're getting, so the experience is really smooth. Right guys, we have CYBERPUNK 2077 run at 4K ultra settings. I have screen reflection quality off. That does eat quite a bit of FPS, probably around 15 to 20 FPS. And I'm also in the Dogtown area, which you do get less FPS in this area as well. Outside of Dogtown, you probably will be getting around 100 FPS on the 9070 XT and the 5070 Ti. And of course, on the 5090, you're probably going to get like 160, 170 FPS outside of Dogtown as well. And also with the base reflections, that of course is going to dial back your FPS even more. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I just have that off because I've realized that I don't really see too big of a visual difference, and it does eat a lot of FPS. Some people have told me in the comments below that they do see a difference. I personally don't see a difference. I would personally have it off just to get more frames, but if you do see the difference, just put it on. But of course, you're gonna lose quite a bit of FPS. You can always use FSR and quality. You can put that on, you can put DLSS, and you're gonna get way more FPS. So you can probably enable that screen based reflection quality on, so you should be fine there. Also use frame generation or MFG on the Nvidia cards, which is really fantastic to use. I do use it myself. Alright guys, so we have God of War Ragnarok running at 4K, ultra settings, TAA on native. The 9070 XT and the 5070 Ti literally have the same exact FPS. The 9070 XT does use a bit more power, about 20 to 30 watts more. And of course, the 5090 has basically doubled the FPS for both of these cards, but is sucking back 560 watts. Absolute heater in this room, I have to say. But yeah, all cards do a fantastic job. The 1% lows are looking fantastic as well. It's just a really well optimized game, like I always say in my videos. Literally, this game is just so well optimized, it's insane. Yeah, it just runs really well, guys. I also noticed that the AMD cards do use a bit more RAM, like your system RAM, for some reason. I'm not really sure why. You will see that in other games as well. They use like double the RAM that the Nvidia cards use when I'm playing, so I'm not really sure why that's happening. If any of you know, guys, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm actually curious to to understand why that's even happening. But yeah, also the VRAM usage is usually high as well. I mean, in this game it doesn't seem to be that much higher, but usually it is higher. And also I've noticed that when the card has it available, like the AMD cards, they usually like to use more VRAM as well. I've said that in my previous videos, but with that system RAM, I've noticed it's the same thing as well. It just uses so much system RAM, it's insane. You guys will see in The Last of Us, it uses so much RAM, it's actually insane. Alright guys, so in The Last of Us Part 1, 4K ultra settings, and yeah, again, we're seeing the 5090 have a doubled FPS compared to the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT. 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT have roughly the same FPS. And like I said before, guys, look at that RAM usage on the 9070 XT system here. It literally uses about 10 gigabytes more of system RAM. It's actually insane. And for some reason, in this game, the 5070 Ti and the 5090 are using more VRAM, which makes no sense because usually, like I said, the AMD cards use use more VRAM, but I don't know, for some reason here, 5090 is using nearly 16 gigabytes of VRAM. But yeah, it's actually quite strange. I've got comments from you guys before about the RAM, you know, the system RAM being so much higher, the usage compared to the NVIDIA cards. I actually don't know why that's happening. It's actually quite insane. Like 10 gigabytes is really significant, so I don't really know why that's happening. I've noticed that happens on certain titles as well. So The Last of Us Part 1, and I'm pretty sure Stalker 2, I will show you guys that in a minute, but pretty sure Stalker 2 has the same issue as well with the RAM usage. Right guys, so we have FORZA Ryzen 5 running at 4K, extreme settings with TAA, and we're seeing that the 9070 XT is ahead of the 5070 Ti by around 10 to 13 FPS, and the 5090 is not that far ahead of the 5090 is around 50, maybe 40 FPS ahead of the 9070 XT, so it's not really that big of a difference. And also, I've noticed that the 5070 Ti is more power efficient in this title compared to the 9070 XT, so it's pulling like 60-70 watts less and only getting around 10 FPS lower, so it's actually pretty power efficient. I'm actually surprised that the 5070 Ti is doing a worse job, just because we do have ray tracing on, and you know, usually the 5070 Ti should be pulling ahead, you know, with ray tracing on, but for some reason the 9070 XT is doing a better job. Also guys, don't mind the 1% lows. They do look really bad at the 9070 XT, but trust me, if I ran all these cards for long enough, they will all start stuttering and show really low 1% lows, so don't really look at that too much, honestly. Alright guys, so we have Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, running at 4K, epic settings, TAA, and we're seeing the 5090 even struggling in this title with these settings, so it's barely getting 80 FPS, and the 5070 Ti is doing a little bit better job from the 9070 XT, but not by much, by a few frames literally, so maybe 3 or 4 FPS at most. And the 5070 Ti seems to be, you know, more power efficient again, using around 50 watts less at the same basically performance. And of course the 1% lows look really bad on these cards, literally dropping all the way down to 8 FPS. They both lagged in the same area as well, which is funny enough. But yeah, it's just a UE5 title. It's really hard to run. You do need, you know, frame generation if you do want to have a decent experience in this game, I've noticed. I remember playing it with my 4070 Super. I did use frame generation. It wasn't too bad. It did lag, but not as much as, you know, without it. And also you see that RAM usage again with this game. It's using like 9 gigabytes more of RAM in this title, the 9070 XT system here. So yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is guys, honestly, but alright guys, we have MAFIA the Old Country run at 4K, high settings, TSR on native, and we're seeing basically the same FPS on the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT, and the 5090 is even struggling. It's getting 70 FPS. Also guys, I have done a full video with the 9070 XT, the 9070, the 9060 XT 16 gigabyte on this game, so if you guys do want to check it out, go to my videos and check it out. I've not done the 5070 Ti and the 5090 yet. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know in the comments below, because I might actually do if you guys are interested. I might actually do them if I see like that you guys are interested. Also, I am doing this test with the new hotfix that came out, the hotfix 2 for this game, and it does actually improve the FPS by like 3 or 4 FPS, so pretty nice bump to be fair. It's not too bad. Alright guys, so we have Red Dead Redemption 2 running at 4K, ultra settings, TA on high. We're seeing a fantastic performance from all these GPUs. I've noticed that the 9070 XT 0.1% lows are a bit worse compared to the other GPUs. It's not the end of the world, it still felt really smooth. The 5090 is the only card that managed to get over 120 FPS. Still think both of these other cards are doing pretty decent job with the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT. It does seem to be raining on the 9070 XT's clip here, so maybe that does reduce a little bit of the FPS. I'm not too sure, or maybe it makes the 1% lows a bit worse. But yeah, the power efficiency of the 5070 Ti is really impressive. Again, like it's using around 40 watts less, which is quite significant if you think about it. You know, if you run the games for a few hours, you know, that 40 watts does add up quite fast on your power bill, I think. So you can definitely undervolt both of these cards as well. I've noticed that the 9070 XT undervolts really well. I do have a video out, guys. Please check out. Honestly, it's really impressive. You can get 100 watts less on the power draw and only lose about 2 to 3 FPS, which is truly insane. So do check that out, guys, if you are interested. Right guys, so we have Horizon Forbidden West, running at 4K, ultra settings with TAA. We're seeing that the 9070 XT is slightly faster than the 5070 Ti by around 9 to 10 FPS. Does seem to favour the AMD architecture a little bit more, but both cards have still really playable FPS. Sadly, the 0-1% lows on the 5070 Ti are a bit worse than the 9070 XT. I mean, even the 5090 has quite bad 0-1% lows because it's going all the way from 120 to like 70 FPS, so it is a quite big jump. So it does kind of jump down quite a bit. And the 5070 Ti's power efficiency again shows really well here, getting 60 watts less on the power draw and only getting like 6-7 FPS lower. So it's not actually that bad, to be fair. It's actually really good efficiency. But yeah, like I said before, you can undervolt these GPUs and get even better efficiency out of them. Right guys, lastly we have Silent Hill 2 running at 4K, and I have the high preset on, and we're seeing basically all cards struggling. I mean, the 9070 XT is struggling the most. It's under 60 FPS, but even the 5090 is getting like 100 FPS, which, you know, for a 5090 at this price is not really that, you know, that crazy, I would say, especially when we have no ray tracing on or anything like that. The 9070 XT seems to be struggling the most. This is more like a Nvidia sponsored title, I would say. So yeah, the 9070 XT is just doing a much worse job, and the 1% lows are looking terrible. But I think if you do enable FSR and even DLSS on all these cards, you should be fine. Especially if you even use frame generation, you should be like chilling, honestly. Especially on the 5070 Ti, which has MFG, and the 5090. It should be really, really smooth then. But yeah, I mean, the 9070 XT is just getting absolutely rammed on this title. It is a UE5 title, so yeah, it's another thing as well. But right guys, so we're on the conclusion now. And I have to say, like, the 5070 Ti and the 9070 XT, really, really close in performance. If you guys are interested as well, let me know if you want to see a 5070 Ti and a 9070 XT with FS on quality and DLSS on quality, you know, head-to-head video maybe. I would be open to do that maybe next week. So if you guys are interested, please let me know in the comments below. And also, I think the 5070 Ti is worth buying if you are going to use MFG, because MFG is truly insane. And I think in 4K is going to benefit you a lot. If you are playing in 1440p, there's probably no point getting the 5070 Ti, honestly. Like, I would just get the 9070 XT and just save the money, because you're already getting so much FPS in 1440p. But we are going to do a 1440p video soon, so that will be out in a few days. But I think in 4K, it might actually be a good idea to maybe get a 5070 Ti if it isn't too much more expensive than the 9070 XT, because if you use MFG, it feels really smooth, guys. I really do like using MFG, and it really makes the experience so much better. So if you are using 4K, I think it's worth investing a little bit more into the 5070 Ti. But if you're not, it probably isn't, I would say. Probably really isn't, but it depends what price you can get it for. I literally got this 5070 Ti for a lower price than the 9070 XT because I got a deal on it, plus I got Borderlands 4 with it as well, so it's an absolute steal what I got for this card. But yeah, if you guys are able to get a great deal, I think it's really worth getting it. And also the power efficiency is really good on the 5070 Ti, but then again, you can undervolt, you know, the 9070 XT and literally get the power draw by 100 watts less on it, basically, to get it to 220 watts and still get basically the same performance. I do have a video out on that, guys, if you do want to check it out. So really interesting. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below, guys. I'm gonna end the video here and see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.